Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again. It's Wednesday night. It means the program that you are waiting for, To the Point, is right here, right now. Tonight, we are going to talk about social media. Social media plays an integral role in today's world, shaping public and social opinions as well as increasing interaction amongst people. With this, in fact, in the mind, the public and private sectors acknowledged the power of social media and began using these tools to promote their services and campaigns. In 1989, Sir Tim Berners invented World Wide Web, and in 1990, early global spread of internet. Also, in 2004, Facebook was invented. In about 2005, YouTube was launched. Then in 2009, WhatsApp introduced to the world. However, the impact of social media within the public and private domains varied due to the importance of crowd involvement and interactions with such a tool. Social media could be a great method to spread news, images, and videos regarding current events, but it also could be used to create panic and rumors. A survey conducted by Kuwait News Agency, around 72% of Kuwaitis are spending over 5 hours daily using social media applications and websites. The survey revealed that social media helped in spreading news and rumors, alike about 65%, imagine that, revealing that the top social media applications was WhatsApp, with 90% of usage, followed by Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter, with around 40 and 38 and 25% of usage respectively. Now, a report about something that it's the same thing that we mentioned earlier. Enjoy it and come back with us.
It seems that since the arrival of the smartphone in 2007, we've seen the arrival of a new problem, a uniquely 21st century problem. While the world has gotten a lot more connected, people have become more disconnected, losing the art of conversation and real human interaction. The problem? Ignoring the person in front of you in favor of your smartphone. Just about everyone does it. But if this behavior has become such a big issue, why weren't we talking about it? Well, probably because there wasn't a word for it until now.
I don't know if you know what phubbing is.
Phubbing is phubbing, a term you may not have heard of.
Phubbing.
Almost varying degrees of phubbing.
You've just been phubbed.
Okay, stop. Take a step back. Where do words like this even come from? Where did this one come from? Well, on an otherwise unremarkable day in May 2012, a group of people gathered at the University of Sydney, Australia. Amongst the group was a lexicologist, a phonetician, a debating champion, a poet, several authors, and a cruciverbalist. That's a professional crossword maker. Their mission was to create a word that would get people to put their phones down and get talking to each other again. And so, with a room full of brilliant minds, the search for a word to describe ignoring others in favor of your phone began.
Nubbing, fuffing, frolling, igging, exing, nothering, bitting, telly-snub, and then phubbing. And he's a phubber, and would you stop phubbing me?
The word was released into the wild the following day, seeded into social conversations, and championed by a new movement known simply as Stop Phubbing. From its country of origin it spread, first through the English-speaking world, then Brazil, and right through South and Central America. Europe was next, followed by Southeast and Central Asia. Within a year, over 180 countries were using it.
Phubbing, the war against antisocial phone use.
Why the Stop Phubbing campaign is going viral.
Phubbing can be fatal.
Are you a phubber?
The backlash against phubbing.
Ignoring the person in front of you in favor of your phone was now a behavior with a name, and a behavior being questioned right around the globe. All because of a single word. A single word born in a university hall at the bottom of the world. Language is always changing. Update your dictionary.
Welcome back, and as we promised that today and tonight we are going to focus on something that everybody loves, social media, and something else. So who else to talk about it? And he is well known in the social media activities as well as in the media. We have here Mr. Abdul Wahab Al-Isa. He is a social media and news, and you have an experience in presenting programs on television, lives and taped and everything else. And you have covered all over the state of Kuwait, in specific about the elections and something else about politics. But tonight we are going to focus on social media. People here around this country and probably around the world, they forget to get their main source of information, which is, television, radio, newspapers, the sources from the government themselves, and they go straight to the phone and they go straight to Twitter or probably to WhatsApp and something else. So what exactly we need to tell the audience that you need to stop that or keep on doing that? You need to get the right sources of information from itself. So what do you think about that?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me today. Personally, I started my media career in 2007, 2008, and I've seen the big transformation from the Kuwaiti society, from the source of news. And back in 2007, 2008, there was a big shift from newspapers to TV, live TV coverage, especially from the private sector. People felt that the private sector TV channels would give a wider coverage on what's happening in the country. So the main option or the main thing that made the people transfer from newspaper to TV is that they're getting the news much faster. Instead of waiting until next morning to know what's happening around the country, the 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. live news show on a private sector TV would give them much more.
That's wonderful, but sometimes you lose the accuracy. You lose the precision when you go for the faster way to get it, because people tend to increase the information rather than publish it on the air as it is.
Exactly. The faster the news, the lower the credibility and
that's correct,
the accuracy. But you will never convince the people to understand that. People will always, in any part of the world, Kuwait or in the region or even the United States, people will always follow, especially ordinary people, will always follow the fastest news. Today in social media, people can easily categorize. Now, Kuwaitis started to use social media heavily back in 2009 when Twitter boomed in our society. Today, the Kuwaitis can categorize who are the credible accounts in social media. People today can figure or can know and understand.
So they have a filter.
Yeah, they can easily
to
filter
know where's the bad and where's the worst.
For example, my personal account, I started tweeting news from 2009. Today, I have for the past 7 years. Now I have a good basic where people can check out my news and the latest news that I post on social media.
To my knowledge, you have covered lots of elections in the state of Kuwait on different networks. Recently, like the Twitter and probably Instagram and also the WhatsApp social media, they played a humongous role about affecting the voters who they should vote to, and probably spreading rumors and maybe good information or bad information. In your own point of view, do you believe that the social media affected the election or not?
Well, definitely yes. Social media didn't just affect the Kuwaiti election, it affected also the American election, and it's affecting every election happening today in the world. Social media, you decide who you follow. So if you follow a certain person or a certain account, basically you are giving him the approval to believe on what he posts and what he say. So some influencers will play on manipulating ideas to influence people to vote for certain people. This is number one. Number two, a number of important information TVs and newspapers, they never cover. They never cover. There is a lack of news in those traditional media platforms. And that's why more and more people in different ages are engaging more in social media because they can see it's faster. They believe the people they are follow, and they're covering much more than what like a private or an official TV to cover.
Okay, since we are on the same subject, which is the election and the social media, we have a report which is going to emphasize exactly what you're talking about. Let's watch it.
من المفترض ان المواطن البحريني مثل المواطن الكويتي يكون عارف يعني شنو الوسيله الابرز. يعني اليوم في الكويت لو اليوم تصير انتخابات، انا الحين توني صار لي ساعه ايش قاعد اقول تويتر ودوره واهميته والى اخره. بس اليوم لو تصير انتخابات في الكويت اسوي شفت كله على الانستغرام في الكويت، مع ان الانستغرام هو عاشر موقع، اذا بالبحرين 5 زين، بالكويت العاشر. بس انا ادري ان اليوم الكويتيين بشكل مباشر اليوم راح يروحون يصوتون في الانتخابات على الانستغرام. ماني محتاج ارقام واحصائيات، لان ارقام احصائيات تحط الكويت تحط انستغرام الدرجه العاشره. ولا اني محتاج اجرب، لان انا عارف بالضبط منو اللي يجرب، اللي مو عارف هالامر او اللي بعيد عن المجتمع، ما هو جزء من المجتمع اللي راح يروح يصوت في الانتخابات. وما اعتقد ان واحد بينزل انتخابات في البحرين ما يعرف البحرينيين يعني وشنو، خاصه اذا كان يعني مرشح شاب يدري وين الاكتيفيشن، والاكتيفيشن مو ثابت. يعني اليوم انستغرام امس تويتر في الكويت باكر الله العالم شنو. فاتمنى اكون جاوبت يعني.
Okay, obviously that was a conference somehow, somewhere in Bahrain, and you were talking about the social media and election and etc. And you can tell that was back in the summertime, and you look good in the summerish clothing.
Yeah.
What was it about?
But I was a big fan. Now I'm much better looking now.
You always look gorgeous, whether you kind of gaining weight or lost weight. But anyway, what exactly you were talking about?
Well, that was I
briefly
think, 2 years ago.
2 years
ago. It wasn't last summer. I was in Bahrain talking about the awareness of social media. On that time, there was Bahrain election was running. I was talking that if you go back to the official numbers and like if you go Alexa as an example, you will see Instagram or Twitter on the 10th or 11th on the ranking in Kuwait. But Facebook will be more visitors. Yes, more visitors because of the expats. But if you want to reach Kuwaitis, you would invest more in your election social media election campaign on Instagram and Twitter. I was talking about how localizing social media, because it is very local, it is very effective, and it's very influential. Social media, you just don't easily read reports or softwares that covers all social media platforms to tell you what is effective and what is not. It's more about how do you know your society and your country, and you can implement social media campaigns on that. And that's why most of the successful social media companies in the world that is managed by locals, because it's it has a great influence on the culture.
Obviously. Now, there was a conference, I guess it was 2 years ago, about #Kuwait, and you were one of the organizers of that conference, and it was held, I believe that was in Kuwait Higher Regency. Am I correct or not?
Yes, it was
2 years ago, wasn't it? Or last year?
Last year. It was last
year. And you were focusing about exactly what you are talking about, social media and the positive effectiveness or probably the bad influences about it, correct? What exactly you have gained from that #Kuwait?
Well, #Kuwait is an official social media conference. It was the idea of Sheikh Salman Al-Hamoud. At that time, he was the minister of the Ministry of Information, and his idea was to make a governmental action towards integrating with social media. He wanted to create a platform where Kuwaiti social media influencers would engage with the government, and there would be a better place for them to talk offline. My idea at that time was to create a seminar or a session where I invited the top social media influencers in Kuwait, especially those who always criticize the government. And I also invited the 3 to 4, I think, ministers from the cabinet. And we sat in one session. It was an open discussion seminar. It was the first in the GCC. There never been 3 to 4 ministers from the government with the top social media influencers in the country, where they criticize every day on social media the government actions. They sat together, they talked, and that was the main purpose of #Kuwait, is where we create a platform where people can engage, especially governmental officials who are like a bit not very well integrated and active on social media.
Nowadays, people, they have small businesses. And instead of going to the television, radio, or probably newspaper to have their promotion about their own business, they go straight to social media. And they pay people, probably somebody like you or somebody else, to talk about it and spread the news that there is something new in town and everybody needs to participate, whether it's a business thing or maybe culture or something else. Do you think it has been a successful move or not?
Well, definitely yes. It started with small businesses, correct, but today all businesses are using the influencers marketing. Big businesses, medium businesses, and small businesses. Why? Because it's effective.
It's effective.
If you are a business owner, you would invest a certain KD in a newspaper, a TV, or a social media influencer.
Okay. The director told me that we have a video. It's about the same thing, the same person, which is you are, talking about the same subject. Let's watch it and come back.
كنت مقدم برامج في تلفزيون الوطن، أقدم البرامج السياسية. كانت الاتصالات تنهال بشكل يومي. عبد الوهاب نبي نطلع في مقابلة معاك، عبد الوهاب نبي تصريح في الصحيفة، عبد الوهاب نبي كذا. تغيرت بعد 2011 هذه الطلبات. عبد الوهاب نبي تغريدة مع الكاميرا في تويتر، عبد الوهاب نبي ريتويت للموضوع الفلاني، عبد الوهاب. فقلت أنا لحظة، يعني بدينا ننزعج. فرفعت السماعة على مجموعة من الشباب، قلت لهم يا شباب يعني هل أنتم تعانون، اللي هم زملائي في قنوات أخرى، قلت لهم يا شباب هل أنتم تعانون المعاناة اللي أنا قاعد أعانيها؟ كل يوم تيني 3-4 اتصالات وطلبات وتكفى ولو سمحت وغيرها من هذه الأمور. قال عبد الوهاب إحنا يعني زهقنا من هذه الإشكالية. قلت لهم ايش رايكم أنا عندي فكرة نأسس شركة وتكون هي الشماعة لهذه الاتصالات، ونحول كل الاتصالات اللي تجينا عليهم، بمعنى نسوي لوبي وتحالف إعلاميين ومؤثرين في مواقع التواصل الاجتماعي. هذه الشركة توقع عقود حصرية معهم، أي واحد يبي أي طلب يروح لهذه الشركة ويدفع فيز معين، وهذا الفيز بناء عليه يتم يعني ترويج هذا المنتج. بدأت هذه الشركة في 2011 أنا و3 شباب كويتيين. اليوم حجم الصرف الإعلاني على هذا السوق اللي ابتكرناه يتجاوز 3 ملايين دينار. تأسست من وراء أكثر من 5 إلى 7 شركات. تطورت هذه الفكرة وبدأت تغزو دول الخليج، وصارت يعني ما يقارب مئات من المؤثرين الخليجيين يستفيدون ماليا من هذا النوع من التجارة. أصبحت مقاعدهم محجوزة في المؤتمرات الحكومية العليا. أنا قبل سنة قابلني الشيخ محمد بن راشد في أحد المؤتمرات. اليوم الصبح تلقيت دعوة من حكومة دبي للمشاركة في القمة الحكومية، ولم أتأثر يعني بالوظيفة اللي خسرتها قبل عدة شهور. أيضا تجاوزنا هذا الأمر، دخلنا في التجارة الإلكترونية من خلال مواقع التواصل الاجتماعي. أسسنا شركة بقيمة 10 مليون دولار. واحد مثلي في 2011 ما كان يحلم في يوم من الأيام أنه يأسس شركة التجار الكبار خذوا كل وكالات الزينه وما عاد لنا يعني، فما لنا خيار الا ان احنا نبتكر ونالف شيء جديد خارج القواعد اللي موجوده فيه، لان كل الاسواق هذه يعني تم احتكارها ومن المستحيل ان احنا ننافس يعني التجار الكبار. الحل السحري او فك هذه المعادله هو سؤال المليون دولار بوجهه نظري، هو ان احنا نسال نفسنا شنو اللي ناقص الناس في عالم الاونلاين. اللي يقدر يجاوب على هذا السؤال يقدر يصير مليونير ثاني يوم.
That was some kind of question. What's missing in whatever business that you need online, and you can become a millionaire. That was your business. What's that?
On the second day.
On the second day.
On the second day.
Less than 24 hours. Well, let's do it together.
Yeah,
a millionaire.
Sure.
Who wants to become a millionaire online?
If you can answer this question.
Okay. What's the question?
Well, the question is, especially in the online business, how can you solve a problem, or how can you find a solution? A solution that the people want. For example, Uber, $68 billion startup company. He made it easier for the people to travel from one place to another. He created thousands and thousands of new jobs, especially after.
But that was in the States. That was in the States. We're talking about in Kuwait.
I'm talking everywhere. For me, for example,
you can implement this in Kuwait. That would be wonderful.
Yes, I did in Kuwait and in the GCC, starting from 2009, 2010. We have a new era that's called the female social media influencers who are into fashion and makeup. Most of their followers, they see them every day, they follow them every day, and they see how they are using certain products. People will ask, from where can I buy this certain product that you are using today and now? If you go to the market, definitely it will be sold out because a social media influencer talked about it. If you are not from Kuwait, you can't find this product because those Kuwaiti influencers, most of their followers are from the GCC region. So I created a solution for those people where with 3 clicks you can buy the product that the influencer you love is talking about right now. The concept is boutiquat. It's not a social platform and it's not an e-commerce platform. It's a new concept. It's a social e-commerce platform. Usually if you go and visit an e-commerce platform, you would look for a certain brand. But with boutiquat, when you go online, boutiquat, you would search for a certain influencer. Influencer X, for example. You were following her for the past 2 to 3 years. With boutiquat, you can easily buy
when you say
what
influencer, that means a person who influences his life on the others. Something like that?
What I mean by social media influencer is an account on social media with hundreds and thousands of followers. Yes.
Is he a credible person or she a credible person or not? That's the question. See, because most of them, I'm not going to generalize the whole thing, fabricators. In order for you to become famous, you have to have a fabrication. You have to have some kind of a scandal. Remember that person who had so and so and so? Now he is online and he has his own account and he is criticizing such. People like naive people, they're gullible, they believe anything. And they follow him just for the fun. And then all of a sudden he thinks and everybody else thinks that he is famous. And probably he's not. That's my opinion. I could be wrong.
Well, you're not wrong and you're not right. This is not a fact. Different people have different cases. But from my perspective, from my side as a social media, or I'm a person who invests in social media, who starts a company in social media, what I care of is the results and how the people are integrating with this influencer. For example, if there's a certain influencer where you don't believe and he promoted a cheeseburger from a certain restaurant and hundreds and hundreds of people will go next day and buy this cheeseburger, then who's right?
We never know. We are almost out of time. One final question. I believe that a person like you must have some kind of a bright future and you would love to fulfill it, and you have some kind of accomplishment that it hasn't been accomplished yet. What are they?
Well, when it comes to online and when it comes to social media, there is no limits. In our market, the GCC market, in our region in the Middle East, there is a huge potential when it comes to online investment. And the report that broadcasted a few minutes ago, I said big investors in our country, they don't invest correctly in online. So as a youth, we have a great chance
to beat them.
To beat them, because this market
in their own game.
In their own game, and there is no big man.
I know.
In this new market. So if you have an idea, start now, take the risk, and
take a chance.
And take a chance and find a solution for the people.
We used to have a program right here on KTV called Take a Chance. We will take a chance.
Take a chance. You should